126,000 stars on GitHub is not just a statistic. It is a loud, clear signal that one tool is currently winning the popularity contest in the self-hosted AI space. When you look at Open WebUI, you are looking at a project that has basically become the default face of local machine learning for the masses. It is built to be entirely frictionless from the second you decide to try it out. The setup process is an absolute dream for anyone who values their time and sanity. You run one single command through a container system, and you are ready to go. There is no external database to configure. There is no messy installation process involving secondary software layers. It is a self-contained powerhouse that lives on your hardware without a fuss. This makes it the undisputed king for solo deployments and home labs. But the real magic happens under the hood with its unique pipeline system. If you know even a little bit of the Python programming language, you can perform surgery on your data in real time. You can drop custom scripts directly into the path between the user and the model. This lets you filter responses, format data, or add specialized logic that the model would never have on its own. That level of deep extensibility is almost unheard of in a tool that is this easy to get running. However, the entire landscape changes the moment you look at the other major player in this field. LibreChat is not trying to be the easiest tool to install on a laptop. It is trying to be the most versatile tool for the professional world. While the community favorite focuses on local power, this alternative focuses on massive breadth. It acts as a universal bridge for your entire workflow. You can hook up every major cloud provider and every boutique service into one single polished interface. You can switch between different providers without ever leaving your chat window. This sounds like a perfect solution until you actually try to install it. You have to manage a separate database system just to get the application off the ground. That requirement creates a real technical barrier for the average person who just wants to run a server in their basement. It is a much heavier software stack that demands more maintenance. But that extra weight comes with a massive payoff for large organizations. The community favorite has a glaring weakness when it comes to security and management. Every single user on your instance sees exactly the same models and the same tools. There is no way to hide sensitive resources from specific people or teams. If you are running a business with 100 employees, that is a total nightmare. This is exactly where the heavier tool takes the lead. It has enterprise-grade authentication built directly into its core. It talks natively to corporate identity systems and cloud management platforms. You can set up fine-grained permissions so that different departments have access to completely different tools. This is the real split that almost nobody mentions in the comment sections. These two pieces of software are not actually rivals in the way people think. They have different origin stories and they are heading toward different destinations. One was born to give local enthusiasts a beautiful and fast way to talk to their own hardware. The other was engineered from the ground up to give corporations a way to take back control of their data and their sovereignty. If you are tinkering on your own and you want something fast, the choice is simple. You want that massive community support and that lightning-fast setup. You will know exactly when you have outgrown it. The moment you need complex user permissions or a unified bridge across 5 different massive cloud companies, you will know it is time to move on to the more robust enterprise option. Both are incredible achievements for the open source world, but they serve two very different masters in the end.